Okay, hi everybody. Today, doing something kind of out of the ordinary, kind of strange here. My mom has a floor that she wants to redo, and she wants to redo it economically. And I have a friend who's building a house who also has a floor that she wants to do economically and something that's different, unique. And so therefore, I'm going to show them an idea that I have based on an old idea from years and years and years ago. Sorry about my fingers, I've been painting a lot today. Over 15 years ago, we did a technique which was the paper bag technique on my mom's living room floor, where you take you just take paper bags and you tear them up and you wad them up and you use half glue and half water and you saturate them in that, and then you lay them out on the floor. Of course the floor's clean and dry and all that, but you lay them out all over the floor, overlapping them. When it's all completely dry, you cover that with a diamond coat polyurethane, as many layers as is needed to get it to the thickness or the sheen or quality that you want. I recommend no less than 3 coats, period, if you're ever trying to do a floor and you want to seal it with polyurethane. And there's one called a diamond coat, diamond hard. That is what you want to use. But there is absolutely no reason in the world that if that works and the floor is still holding up and looking good after 15 plus years, there is no reason in the world that this technique that I'm about to show you guys would not do the exact same thing. I'm going to use this piece of wood as a test piece, an example, and we're going to do this board exactly like I intend to do my mother's kitchen floor. And this will give us an idea. We're going to assume that this edge over here is our wall to the room, and this is our floor. So when I'm doing this, keep in mind that this is the back wall that I'll be starting at. So here we go. I've got a brown tone mixed up. It's kind of a metallic-y brown tone, just to give that special really beauty to the flooring. This is to keep it in kind of an earthy realm, and this is one of the colors that my mother wanted to have in hers. Not a lot of it, but some. I've got a very, very dark gray here. This is my friend's color scheme, was also like my mother's in that she wanted the grays and the darks. And so we have another gray here. This one is more of a pewter gray. It looks kind of green to me in the camera, but we're going to see how it looks in the grand scheme of things. It does have kind of a gray hue to it, a green hue to it, but it is a gray. It's pewter gray. And then here I have a metallic silver. It seems a little bit thicker than the others, but that's because when you're doing with metallics like this, you really don't want to overdo it. So all of these are mixed with my version of a pouring medium. Pam, I'll let you know what that pouring medium is when I send you a message how to make it. And I also put Floetrol in all of these. So here's how we're going to do it. We're first going to put on a layer of the silver along our back wall. And on top of that, or beside it, we'll put a layer of this pewter. And we're going to put a little layer of this brown, maybe just a thin one. And then some of our dark. Maybe another layer dark here. More of the light. The silver, and we're going to put it in a few choice places. Little choice places with the brown. Just whatever kind of strikes your fancy. I've been doing this kind of painting for a while, so I kind of know. And I'm going to take my basic white. I already got mixed up. The white has silicone in it. The others don't. The the dark gray has some silicone in it, but the white and the dark gray. Now along the very back edge, I'm going to pour the white, and then we're going to assume that this is a big trowel, like a paint guard. The bigger you get, the better. And then we're going to start in that corner, and we're going to push into the corner, make sure we're getting it all, and we're going to float across the top of this and drag it as far this direction as it'll go. We don't want to do it too many times, and we want to wipe off our trowel between each float. And we're going to do it again right next to it. We're going to keep this floating on the surface and pulling it this way. Doing it again. And I can also put a little bit of dark here and here. I just want to make sure that it's not completely just white in the corners. Let me put a little dark. The white is the heavier pigment, so it's going to sink in between all these colors that we've already added. And because it's sinking, it creates these amazing sail effects. Wiping off my trowel, coming in and doing it again, floating it across the top. Loading it across the top. I got a cup in my way over here. Now, we only got so far across the floor. If you don't want that straight line kind of look that's kind of created here, you can do something different at this point. You can come in with your trowel, maybe using a pole or something to give it some length, where you can reach across, but you can swipe one more time, not multiple times, but one more time in another direction, or in a kind of a curvy pattern, or right out in the center and go one direction or another. Alright, so there you have that. Now, you only went so far because your reach and you can't stand on this or walk on this or anything until it's completely dry. But when this is completely dry, you can start over here on this wall and work your way back right over the top of this after this is dry, and it won't mess this up, but it'll kind of bleed in and blend in as long as you're using the same colors. In fact, let me show you. I will do a little row of our color here. We're going to imagine that that's all dry, but I'm going to show you how to, when we go back the opposite direction, that it kind of blends. No matter what you do, you can't really do it wrong. You're going to get this marbling, cool effect. This can be done with plain, ordinary house paint. We want acrylics to do this. And there you have it. There's your floor. Now, one other thing, since there is silicone in it, you can use a torch, and that will make even more of these sails pop up. Give that wonderful lacing effect in some areas. So, there you have it. I think it kind of goes without saying that you need some sort of primer on the floor. I would highly recommend, just to be on the safe side, because you do have to let this dry thoroughly, and you don't want any separations. Right here I got the paint a little thin, but you can see the wood right here. But if the paint did want to try to push away because of there being something like a grease spot or something like that on the floor, you really wouldn't want to have that happen, because that would be hard to correct and fix. So I would highly recommend that you put at least a some sort of, just a layer of prep paint first, and then do this. And when this is completely dry, you do your layers of polyurethane, and that's what your floor would look like, with a beautiful shiny glossy sheen. That's a sexy floor if you ask me. I hope this helps everybody. Love you. Have a great day. Uh-oh, where's the off button? Ha! It's always hard to find.